My name is Isabella Gandler. I am 31 years old and I come from Seoul. I started my career with an apprenticeship with A-level in a small regional bank in Seoul. After 10 years, I recognized it's time for a change. I started a part-time study at the University of Applied Science in Kufstein. I'm working in the FH Kufstein and I am responsible for the sports sponsoring and also for organizing events. The range of projects are wide and that's because it's never get boring. I was also a student at the University of Applied Science in Kufstein and was searching for a sponsor of a practical project. And because of that, I get in contact with the Sparkasse. Most helps me is practical project because to plan something in theory is not the same as to do it in practice. Also, the sport part was really interesting for me because I didn't know in the sports sponsoring. What I like best is that everyone can have her own responsibility and that you can develop yourself. I think it's really important that new ideas are welcome. I would advise that every student should collect as much praxis as possible until we finally know in what you want to specialize. Keep attending training courses. We also offer internships, so when someone is interested in a bank, please contact us because we have many different departments such as HR, marketing, risk management, and the housing department. So if anyone would like to collect praxis, please contact us.
Hello everybody, welcome to the last live stream of this season. We are so excited to have you back with us. As always, we ask you to please not mute the stream too and to keep off your camera and microphone. If you want to ask some questions later on the road, please put them into the chat. Well, our wonderful chat support will send them to me in a really nice way, so I can ask them later on our guest. Our guest today comes from BORA. He will give us a glimpse into the cycling world. We are really, really excited to show it to you and to later on ask you burning questions. So have fun. Let's have a look. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the last interview of this season of the MyWay project. We are really excited to be today here at BORA. BORA is really famous for its kitchens, but what is really interesting is that they are not only involved in kitchens, but also in the cycling. So today we are talking with Peter, who is responsible for the sponsoring part of the cycling team of BORA. So to hear more about how he got here and what he's actually doing, let's have a look. Hello, Peter. It's lovely to be here at BORA. Maybe can you tell us directly a little bit more about your background, how you got here, and what you did before?
I started sports management in the bachelor in northern Germany, and then I went to Kufstein for the master in sports culture and events management in 2016. Finished 2018, and then afterwards I worked for about 2 years in a heat pump factory next to Kufstein in the marketing. Also, it was a bit different than here. It's like 3 people doing the marketing there, and now it's more than 60. But I always was interested in sports, like even when I was young, and I always told myself like I want to do something with sports. So that's why I studied sports management, and then after the bachelor I wanted to do a bit more of these events and get a kind of better background in this, and yeah, so I went to Kufstein, and afterwards I still wanted to do something with sports, but I also met my wife in Kufstein during the study. So and then we said like we want to stay here in the area. Let's move together somewhere between Kufstein and Innsbruck, and it turned out to be Kufstein. And so the focus was just to find a job actually, and sports job are really rare here in that area, and we didn't want to travel to Munich or Innsbruck every day. So yeah, I just went for a kind of normal job without any sports relation. But I always knew that BORA is like sitting just next to Kufstein, and that they sponsor the cycling team, and I was interested in cycling like from a teenager on. So I applied here like actually several times. So like first one was like just as an initiative, and then they announced this job online. I said like I have to go for it, and then it turned out to be this job now for nearly 3 years.
Wow, cool. Before we go further into that, because I have the feeling you have a really cool story behind it, like already looking here at the interior and everything, and outside, it's just amazing where you're sitting here with the company. Can you tell us a little bit more what you're actually doing here as part of the sponsoring team, basically? Because I think a lot of people were actually thinking when they heard about your position, yeah, you are traveling with the team, you are basically managing the team.
It's always mixed up, always. Yes. Like even like in BORA, some people think we work for the team, but we don't. Like the team is totally different, like independent company. Of course, we sponsor the team, so we pay them, and that's why they are named BORA Hansgrohe, but they are legally independent. So the team also has a management, they have marketing and social media and that stuff. And we do the BORA side of it. So we try to get the money back we spend in the sponsoring and try to communicate and to activate the sponsorship that it's actually worth it. Yeah, and it obviously works. So we are here for BORA to get to make the most out of the sponsorship and to activate. And basically, as I said, event is a big part. I would say about 65% of our work are events, or in the summer, all cycling related. All our events are at cycling races. But yeah, that's a big part of our stuff, what we do, and the rest is like communication. And then we also like everything that's cycling related in BORA should be our job. So yeah, it's really interesting.
So I understood that. So you are basically managing the events around the team.
Yes, we do.
What kind of events? What is it?
We do about 8 to 10 events a year. And since they are always at the cycling races, we start in April or May, and the last event is September or October when the cycling season finishes. And what we do is we look for the most famous cycling races: Giro d'Italia, Tour de France, La Vuelta a España. And we look where the special stages are, special locations. It's usually mostly at the last day of the race. We go to the city in Tour de France. It's always Paris. Now next year it's Nice because they moved because of the Olympics. So we go to Paris. We invite our dealers, our kitchen dealers, between sometimes just 20, sometimes 40 kitchen dealers. We invite them for between 1.5 days and 2.5 days to Paris. We have a hotel there. Of course we have nice food. We cook with them. We go for a cycling ride. We have a bike pool with 90 road bikes. So we put them in the sprinter, ride to Paris, and put them out and put all our guests on the bike, no matter if they haven't cycled for 20 years sometimes. But the cycling is always the most special part for us. Cycling is like, yeah, we love it, but it's not special. For them, it's like they don't know how to do it. They all get the kit, of course. So it's really like the most impressive part. And then, of course, we do our sales team is always there. They do some product trainings and that stuff. For the sales team, it's a really, really important possibility to get in touch with the dealers more. For the dealers, it's sometimes a reward, or sometimes they want to motivate them. And I think as a salesperson, if you've stayed in Paris for 2.5 days with your dealer and you have such a close contact, it's really cool to build a sales relationship. So that's what we do. That's one part of the events, and we call it BORA Experience event. And the other part is a BORA fan zone, where we try to open it for the public, for our community. We go to, it's like between 1 and 3 events a year. We go to a specific and special place and just set up like a one-day event, like a big big party. We cook there. We have the TV, the race on TV screens, and just make some program out of it. And that's for the whole community, basically.
That sounds pretty cool, like something I need to do. You're pretty much talking a lot about your team, but what is your actual role then at these events? Are you also traveling yourself then there when you're like organizing it, of course, but what is your role there?
So in our team, we are 4 plus a team lead, and we're in the marketing department, and we do these events nearly independent. Of course, like we do when we are somewhere, we do it independent. But of course, if we need a landing page, if we communicate on social media, we need the experts from the other team. But when we do the event, it's just us traveling, and depending where the event is, we travel for 1 or 2 days. This summer we've been to San Sebastian, so you need 2 days of traveling because we always have so much equipment. We cannot just fly there. We have to go there with sprinter events. We sometimes see if we can fly and rent bikes at the place, but it's not always possible. And at the events, we always have a project manager for each event, and we have at least one project assistant. So we need 2 or 3 people from us at each event, plus the sales team. But the sales team is just there for the dealers. They don't organize the event. The event is organized by us. So we search for the hotel. We do everything with the hotel. What's for dinner? What's for lunch? We search for special restaurants where we go for dinner. We have to create the cycling route. We have to we look on Google Maps where we can go for a bike ride around this area. Then we also organize that we get to watch the race. It's sometimes in the official VIP area of the race organizer, which is easy to organize. So you just buy tickets and go there. But sometimes we try to look for a restaurant or some special location at the race course, which we can set up by ourselves. It's really, really cool. So we can make the whole BORA experience. We bring our products there, and
that's pretty cool.
So we do all that stuff. We do all the material. We write the invitations.
And then in the team, you just decide with on each other who is doing what at which event, pretty much cycling around.
We allocate the events to the people, and then we have a bit I'm a bit more focused on the communication part. So I still do events because we do so many events. If I wouldn't do events, the others would complain. So I'm a bit more focused on the communication part of the sponsorship. So the social media posts, we have a blog, we do videos, that stuff, but I still do events, and the other 3 mainly do events.
Do you here at BORA just look pretty much after the cycling team, or do you also sponsor other teams and are helping there out?
We just sponsor cycling. It's really just cycling, just cycling and just that team.
So all in.
One thing and then fully focused,
Okay. Overall, the job sounds pretty cool. But what is for you personally the best part about it?
The events, yes. It's really before the event, it's really stressful, and you have to check everything and plan everything and check if you have everything packed. And when the evening before we start to drive somewhere with our cars, we're finally we can go out, and it's really the special part. And it's so we just do our job, but the dealers are so happy, and they're always the feedback's so overwhelming sometimes, and we just do our job. Of course, we do it as best as we can, but for them it's they have a good time, of course. So it's always special.
So besides actually probably needing a driver's license for the bikes and sprinters, what other kind of skills would you say helped you get here to BORA, to helped you along the way, basically?
Well, for the sponsorship team, you need to have the passion for cycling, and you need to know at least the basics. It would be good if you're a cycling expert, but cycling is it's not like football, or it's really special, and many people don't understand it or don't know about it. So you really need to know, and you need to have the passion, because otherwise it's always what we always get back from the feedback from the partners is the passion from the team, and we really need to want this. And but besides that, I would say it's more about the soft skills. We don't use maybe, for example, social media on the digital team or from the corporate content team, they need these hard skills, like from certain programs and that stuff. For us, it's more like you need to be open-minded. You need to be able to think about many things as possible at the same time. And you always need to be flexible. Like if something doesn't work out, if the weather is bad at the event, you need to have a solution for it or have a plan B, and you need to be flexible. And I would say it's mainly about being open-minded and not specific skills. Like you can learn many skills when you're here, but it's more about the mindset and what you think of, and that you see that you see work where work needs to be done, and you see things which are not going that way. You need to make it better. And we always say it's like the art. The art we do is that the dealers or our guests at the events, they don't see what's going wrong. Of course, we see many things going wrong, but it's kind of an art to not show that to the dealers, and it often works out.
Yes, so you already got a little bit of view inside BORA and what they're actually doing. I think we should, as the next part, have a little bit of a look at one of their events, how it actually looks, since, BORA is creating basically kitchens. So how does that work with the whole cycling theme? So let's have a look there. And before that, maybe ask some of the burning questions in the chat. We are welcoming them and looking forward to ask them to our guest. So now let's have a look.
So you need always to be prepared basically for any unforeseen events. I know that from experience. Nice. There's like you think always you're prepared, but then something else comes out. So when it's like coming, of course, to the events, you are probably prepared. But when it comes to the athletes? Are there any unforeseen issues sometimes related to the sponsoring, and how do you deal then with it?
Luckily, there isn't much. Like for the cyclists, it's because their job is cycling and our job is activating the sponsorship. So they should be focused on their job and they do their job first. And if we talk with the team, for example, sometimes we get the cyclists for video shootings and that stuff. We always have to check with the trainers with the training plans, because they need to have a day off in their training plan. Otherwise, they cannot do a video shooting, for example. And of course, you sometimes have a cyclist crashing at the weekend, and then he's planned to be at the shooting next day, and you say like, of course he cannot come, and then the team always tries to make a plan B and to maybe get another rider or get a replacement. But you always have to be flexible, and it should not be. Of course, you try to pick special riders, like the more famous one, the best ones. But you cannot always focus just on one rider, because there's always the possibility that he might crash or get sick or whatever. That's one unforeseen event. Then, of course, at the events, we luckily had it this year. The race can be won by our rider. And this is something fantastic. Like, if this happens, you really need to be prepared and have some special things. So last year we won the Giro d'Italia, which is kind of thing you cannot plan, but you see it coming in the days before. But this year we won in Paris at the Champs-Elysees. It was really a big surprise, but it was one of the biggest wins so far for the team. But you cannot plan that, but you need to have you need to be flexible and have at least a big party afterwards. Yeah. So definitely that's one thing. Because the team always tries to find an alternative if something happens, but it's always hard to really plan with someone. We have the riders also visiting when we have fairs, for example, as a special guest, and when we have our events, we always, because the riders have to do the race when we do our events, so they are not available, but we always have a sports director, a coach from the team, which is not involved in the race. So to give us the cycling insights, and also for our dealers to have any questions about cycling, because yes, we are cycling experts for BORA, but the team they are just the best experts you can get.
How did BORA actually decide on cycling? I mean, you said before you are only sponsoring the cycling team, but is there a story behind it, or was it just like one day, oh yeah, this looks really cool and really fantastic, and they're racing. We are going to do that.
No, there's a story behind it. Our founder Willy, he used to be a semi-professional.
Oh,
so
okay.
and he knows the boss of the team from his young days. So they even went to races together. But that's just one small part of the story, because then in I think it was 2015 we started the sponsorship, and before that we said, like, in marketing we want to do something different, something not everyone does, and we said, like, hey, we have this certain amount of money. We already had the offer from the cycling team, like, you can be the main sponsor. At this time the cycling team was still in the second division in cycling, second league, and they said, like, okay, we could spend this money on the cycling team, but then BORA went to an agency and said, like, what else would we get, and what kind of sports sponsoring could we get out of this for this amount of money? And it turned out to be the Four Hills tournament, ski jumping. Mm-hmm. So that would have been like the BORA Four Hills tournament, but this is just like 2-3 weeks a year. Yeah. It's like just in winter. It's like, it's not famous in Spain, in Italy, in Netherlands, which are really important markets for us. It's famous in Austria, Germany, maybe Scandinavia, but that's it, and just for a small part of the year. And the other option was the second football league in Germany. We would have been like the main sponsor on the jersey. Mm-hmm. But again, that's just limited to Germany. Like, second league in Germany, no one cares about out of Germany. So they decided to do cycling, because the races start in January and finish in October. The races are all over the world, actually, but mainly in Europe, which is our core market. We don't, like, out of Europe, we don't do much. Mm-hmm. And yeah, cycling is just always there, and it's really international, just like BORA as a company, just like the riders are also really, the team is really international. They have 14 nationalities. So if we have a fair in the Netherlands, of course, we get a Dutch rider there. And if we have a fair in Spain, we get a Spanish rider there, if we have it on the team. But, yeah. So that's why they decided to do cycling. And of course, it's really, really authentic if your boss loves cycling. And he's also always at our events. And when we do the bike ride, he's always in the first row. And like, for the dealers, they get to cycle with the founder and CEO of BORA. It's really, really special for them. So that's why it's easy for us to make it really authentic.
Sounds like a really wise decision then. Speaking yes. of wise decision, are there any tips you would give our fellow students or also alumni who want to maybe go into sponsoring into this kind of side of marketing, basically, for the future, if they want to do that?
Well, maybe never give up. Like, as I said, for this job, I applied 2 or 3 times before, and then I just got it. And but also stay open-minded, because as I said before, it's not. Yes, you need to have some skills, but also you need to be flexible and just try to be open and to left and right, not just in one direction. Mm-hmm. And yeah, for the study, it's like you really learn a lot, but you sometimes feel that you're not an expert in something. But that's also, for certain jobs, you don't need to be an expert in one field, but you need to be an all-rounder. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, especially for events, you need to be an all-rounder. And yeah, that's one thing I would say.
So hone your skills whenever you can, and yeah,
yes,
as much as you can. Perfect. Thank you very much. I think lots of questions are still there, but our wonderful audience will probably ask them. So I won't take them away from them. Thank you very, very much for having us here at BORA, and I'm looking forward to you having you in the studio and going to the live Q&A with our wonderful audience.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yes, so we are here back in the studio. We are so happy to welcome Peter here with us. Pretty excited, and the first questions already, flew to me, and I think we start directly. So, how is it working with sports in a company which not primary does sports but kitchen?
Good question right from the start. Well, the link between kitchens and cooking appliances to sports is the healthy cooking, healthy eating. So that's basically the fit we have with cycling. And I would say that at BORA, the people are way above average sporty. So we have many keen cyclists, and it's really like the passion and the spirit is also in the other departments of the company. So yeah, we don't do something with sport like BORA as a company with the kitchens, but yeah, the link is so obvious, and it's so, yeah, if you walk in our buildings, and cycling is just present everywhere, and if you just, yeah, BORA is really linked to BORA Hansgrohe to cycling, so that makes it easy for us actually.
Yeah, we saw when we walked through your building, it's absolutely amazing. So guys, if you ever are nearby, have a look at it, because yeah, it's absolutely amazing. When you're saying like everybody is so healthy, do you also have like cooking sessions with your athletes, or is that not such a thing?
We don't do it by ourselves, because the team, they have nutritionists and that stuff, so they invest a lot of time and effort in the nutrition science, because it's really important for cyclists. But we don't teach them what to cook or what to eat, because they know better. Because it's really about the performance and what cyclists need at which time of the day and during the race. That's really that's science. And what we do, like the team, they have a nutrition guideline and general stuff. We also have this for our lunch break, for our salad bar. Yeah, it's just a healthy guideline, what to eat or what not to eat, basically. But it's a guideline. But of course, in the office we can eat what we want.
Here comes a question in regards to your family. How do you make it possible to have a healthy family life and a good job life? Like, how do you balance it when you're so much on the road?
Well, I'm really lucky that my wife has a lot of understanding and also passion for cycling. And maybe it sounds that I'm much on the road, but in fact, it's maybe 6-7 times a year, and then it's between 4 and 7 days. So it's okay. It's always nice to go out. It's good to come back, but it's not that I'm away like half of the time. So I'm really happy about that I can, like, most of the time just go home in the evening and be at home and not be on the road like maybe some sales agent who drive kilometers, like thousands of kilometers every month. So I'm happy that for us the events are highlights, but it's not that we are on the road every day and every week, luckily.
How long does such a work journey normally take? Like days, or like the event, of course. When the event is there, you have to prepare for it and everything. Yeah. Like, how long are you normally then away from Kufstein? And
the usual event for our guests is between 1 day and 2.5 days. And then we try to be at the location about maybe 1.5-2 days before, depending on how much needs to be set up. And then it's on average maybe 1 day of traveling, depending where the event is. Sometimes it's just maybe like 3, 4, 5 hours away. Sometimes it's last year we've been to Spain, like 2 days of traveling each way. So there we've been away for, I think it was 7 or 8 days, but on average I would say it's 5 days.
Are you then also part of this team who basically scouts out the area, or do you know the area, or do you know local people who tell you like this is the place to be with your event next to the race?
Yeah. Well, Google Maps is our best friend in the event preparation. Like we search a lot on Google Maps, but we also try to maybe have, if our sales manager is from that area or we have some other contacts from that area, we try to activate them and maybe get local knowledge into our planning. But the first scouting is done by us just on the computer. And but as soon as we have a contact, we activate it. But we really, sometimes it's it's not so easy, because you can look on Google Maps, but the reality can be different. And usually, like nearly every event, we go there in advance, like 1, 2, 3 more months before we go there and check everything out and have some meetings with some restaurants for scouting, check hotels and that stuff. So that's what we normally do, depending on where the event is. For example, in Paris or in Rome, where there's like usually the end of a Grand Tour, we go nearly every year, so we don't need to go there every year for the scouting. But yeah, if we do an event in a new place, we go there before for sure.
Do you also have the chance to work remotely? And if so, how do you then balance the time on the road, remote work, and being in an office?
We have the chance to work from home, but yeah, in our team, it's a lot about like talking to each other and like just quick chats in between. And it's just like the whole spirit in the company is more about this personal relationship. So we don't like it so much. We mainly work from the office actually, and yeah, we can do home office if we want, but not that much as maybe some other companies. But I think it's 3 days a month. So it's okay. We can use it, but in our team we don't use it regularly.
Then it sounds like a really cool place to work with, like all the possibilities. There was this great, sportsmanship community around you. Then, but actually at the events, how do you evaluate and analyze the actual success of one of your events next to the race?
We always send out feedback mails, like feedback questionnaires to our guests. Afterwards, that's one thing where we just get some feedback. It's like 3, 4, 5 minutes feedback, open questions, but also just simple ratings. After every event, we sit together with our sales team to discuss things that went good or bad, maybe, and see how it works. And we also have like a big Excel file where we know like which dealer we invite to which event, so we can actually say like, okay, on this dealer we've spent so much euros for this event, and we can then see if the performance of the dealer went better after the event, for example. So that's what we do. Wow. And of course, the other part is the digital activation, like you've seen the after movies. Of course, you can see on social media what's the reach of the content from the event.
How the interaction is with it and everything. That sounds like a lot of exercise. Wow. I didn't think actually of that you would go so deep into analyzing all of that, but wow. Then how big is your actual team? I mean, you talked a little bit about it already, that it's quite big actually for such a team. But yeah, how big is it, and how many colleagues are currently working on the different projects?
In the sponsorship team, we have 4 people plus our team lead, and we are located in the marketing team, which is about, I would say, 60 people. And within that marketing team, we work a lot together, for example, with the social media team for everything that's posted on our channels. We work a lot together with the content team. They produce all the content, either from the events, but also from our annual shooting with the team, with the BORA and Score team. I always say team when I mean the cycling team.
Yes.
And also our event team, they have the BORA cooking truck, which is like a promotion truck touring through Europe, and sometimes we have this truck at our events as well. So we have like nearly to every marketing team we have a relation and work with them, and it's really interdisciplinary.
So guys, if you ever have the chance to have a look at it, on the pictures it looked quite wonderful, and if there's a cook there, even better. There's some food is always good. So yeah, who knows, maybe one day we will be at one of those events. When it comes back to the FH and your studies, I mean, you have now a few years under your belt working at BORA. How did your studies actually support you in your jobs? What really helped you along the way? And maybe what you have wished to have known beforehand?
Well, I think the study is quite flexible and quite broad in terms of what you learn. It's not so specific, which is actually good for that kind of job where you just need to be flexible and need to have many different skills. Like not every skill needs to be at the best, but at least on average. So that's something which is really, really helpful, that you're not a total expert in some fields, but you as I said, maybe above average on many fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, of course, the practice projects, the events we organized, that stuff was also really cool to learn how a professional event is organized.
I mean, we have heard from quite a few of our previous guests how the broadness of it really helped them along the way. Are there some more like specific skills you think would be good for a job like yours?
Well, maybe, I mean, for my job, it's mainly about the event management actually, because cycling is so specific, you cannot learn or teach it. It's like you need to be into it. And for these events, it was quite good to have like to know how events are planned, and maybe know with all the external lectures to get some views into other events, what they need to pay attention of, and what's special for each event, and yeah, more the general stuff.
You talked so cool about the story behind choosing the cycling world for for BORA. Do you think that BORA ever will take on some other sports, or do you think like this is it?
Well, it's not my decision. It just fits perfectly. That's what I can say, and it's also pretty much accepted by the employees of BORA, for example. And we get a lot of colleagues asking us, can I rent a bike? I want to try it and that stuff. So it really fits. So it wouldn't make sense to go to football or any other sports. It just makes sense. And as I said, our boss is on his bike like many kilometers each year. He's way fitter than most of us. And that makes it even more special. So it just makes sense. And I don't think so, but I cannot look into the future.
So don't have a challenge with your boss.
No. You cannot win. Like 99% would lose.
Oh my God. Then wow, that sounds then fun. If you put like people on the bike who haven't been on there for like maybe 10 years. Wow. But you personally, if it wouldn't have been cycling, who or which sport would you have liked to support otherwise?
I have a background in handball. I played it for 15 years. That's a big passion of mine. I like to watch football, but I've never played it. So it would be probably handball, I'd say. I like skiing as well, but never did it like for racing. I would say handball.
Well, I think, is there at the moment some European or some championship?
There was the European Championship like 1 week ago finishing.
Yeah.
In Germany.
I think I saw that. I think it was in Cologne, right?
Yeah, Cologne, in Munich also. Yeah. But I'm like kind of still interested in the handball, but you cannot watch it on like free TV. So I follow the results, but not more. But I did also during my first bachelor study, I did an internship at a handball club. So still connected to handball.
Then from handball back to your work actually from the sponsorship side. Not specifically maybe from BORA, but more like a sponsor yourself. What kind of objectives do you have for general sponsorship, like brand awareness, media coverage, incentive for employees maybe?
Brand awareness is the biggest part, of course, because there was why BORA initially started it, because BORA is quite a young company, so nobody knows about it. So cycling is a really good way to make your product known. And now we are not totally famous, but we're known. And now it's still brand awareness a lot, but and also to get this connection, because many people know BORA, they know it from the sponsorship, but they don't know what we're doing. They think we sell bikes or that stuff. So we need to make them aware that we are about the kitchen appliances. And the brand awareness is the biggest part, but then the other thing we also say, it's like we want to be #1 loved brand, so we want to make people love us and just transport our passion and our values to the people. That's another part.
But I actually wanted to ask you before, which totally flew out of my mind. So, since everybody seems to love cycling so much at BORA, does your company actually have like a scheme for the employees to get like a shared bike or some kind of support when getting a bike to drive all the time to work, or is?
Yeah, we have this. It's called Jobrad.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a bike, right? I think it's kind of leased, and you get a discount for that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, if you want to just buy a bike for yourself, we get a discount at the cycling shop next to our other building in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have like a bike pool which we went out for our employees yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we will have. We don't know yet, but we have. Yeah. For example, we did a company trip to Mallorca about 1.5 years ago, and everyone went on a bike ride. So, and that was when really many colleagues got infected by the cycling virus. That was really cool because we got a lot of feedback afterwards, like, oh, I want to buy myself a bike, and that's pretty cool. But we don't have like a bike pool for rent, but we do have this Jobrad initiative.
That's pretty cool already.
Yeah.
When you're speaking about this wonderful trip to Mallorca, has there been a repeat in the meantime, or was it like a one-time thing? So
it was a one-time thing, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so great. So I think we couldn't do it. It would be too much. Yeah. It was also a big effort to organize, of course, because we did it all like by ourselves, and the HR department, the hotels, and that stuff. So the flights, it was a big project for BORA.
So were you actually part of the team, or was it like more the?
Yeah, we were responsible for the bike rides. So the HR department, they did all the flights and the food and the hotels, but we were responsible for the bike rides and the bikes. To have 400 people on bikes in 2 days was a challenge, but it all worked out, and it was really, really cool.
I imagine so. No, I really would have wanted to be there. Like, I'm not so much into cycling, but this sounds like really a lot of fun. There's here another question. Does BORA have anything to say when it comes to the sports part of the team? For example, which cyclists like to buy or to sell, like which sponsor, or is it like not part of?
Not really. It's like the team is an independent company, and of course we are the main sponsor. So there might be some chats between our boss, because he's a friend of the owner of the team. So there might be some chats about it, but I think that it's not that like he says, okay, we need to that rider and this rider. So they're more independent.
Do you, as a main sponsor, have something to say or to decide when it comes to like other sponsors also, or is there like? Sometimes.
I mean, there couldn't be another sponsor from the kitchen industry.
Yes.
It's like we're the first one, and there can't be another one. But apart from this, no.
So no restrictions at all from others also. Freehand.
No. Yeah.
Wow, I thought before that there would be a lot more restrictions around sponsorships, because they always seem to have their own ideas in the head, and like that it has to show and to go. So,
I mean, of course, we want to have our product and our name present when other sponsors try something, and we do something, and we also do it for ourselves. Because, for example, when we do a shooting with the riders, of course, they have to eat and they have to drink, and then we use for example, the Krombacher 0.0 beer bottles and that stuff, or we show the official. They have a wine and oil sponsor, so that kind of stuff. And if we do shootings, we have to show, for example, the Specialized bikes. We cannot show a bike from another brand. That's what we need to pay attention to.
Do you have any plans to maybe make the people more aware that BORA is actually a kitchen company? Any creative ideas you maybe want to share? Are allowed to share?
Well, we try it constantly. That's why at every event we have our products with us, and we need to cook. Like if we have, we call this kind of public events, we call them BORA fan zones, where nearly everyone of the BORA community can join us, and we always have to prepare the food on our products to make them aware of what we're doing actually. That's the main part, but also, for example, for the shootings, we always need to have the bridge between cycling and cooking. So it's always about the products and our USPs. Sure.
Now that you praise so much your company, if I would have liked to join you guys there, how could I do that? And are there some internship or like working student jobs or something along the way?
Yeah, we have working student jobs. Also, constantly jobs are online, so you just need to take a look. But also you can apply like as an initiative. And we also have a trainee program you can apply for. So you can be either a trainee in the economy side of the company, but also in the technical part. But of course, you're probably more into the economy part.
Maybe, probably, yeah, kind of. You already shared with us kind of like a last question, how that you basically told us like to just try. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but is there anything more you want to share with us to maybe bring us on the way to be also really successful in the sponsorship and marketing part of things?
Well, one thing you need to have, I think, is you need to have the motivation, of course, but also the endurance, because sometimes things go wrong and you think, oh, is this really the right thing for me? But you need to just stay focused, and you have just in cycling, you need to have the endurance and carry on, and that's a good thing, I think, I would say.
Yeah. Plan your road.
Yeah, and
have the breath to take it on.
And believe in yourself, actually.
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah, so our time comes to an end. Thank you so very much for being here with us. It was a joy.
Thanks.
Thank you guys for being here with us. It was our last stream for this semester, actually our last stream with this amazing team. I think all of us, we want to thank the FH for being always there to support us, our wonderful Victor who is behind the camera and supporting us, our team that you probably have heard from through the chats and have seen products from on Instagram and various other channels. Of course, our wonderful sponsors, since we are talking so much about sponsors today, like Sparkasse, our wonderful FH Kufstein from the FH, and the Kufstein Festung, Havers, which is also into sports. So all of them, thank you so much for being there for us. And we are really happy to announce that soon you can find the actually recordings of the live streams of the previous semester on YouTube and our YouTube channel. So just search for My Way, our shared experiences, and we will also put the link to the community to have a look at it, and maybe look into the cultural part of things or further into ski events. And if you later on want to have additional look into this live stream, please take a look and share it with your friends. So thank you all so much for being with us, and we hope that the next team will be as successful and have as interesting guests that we had here the pleasure to have. So without further ado, I tell you goodbye. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope you will all get the jobs you dream from. Just go for it. Bye-bye.